you're looking for the best protection for your car, look no further to XPEL. I put my cars through harsh conditions like constant B-road blasting, road trips and occasional track days, and I want my car to look the best, and XPEL's Ultimate Plus paint protection films never fail to protect the paint on my cars while keeping it looking amazing. All XPEL's products, including prime window tints, come with an official e-warranty from the manufacturer, which gives me an additional confidence and maximum peace of mind when using their products. And this allows me to be fully present and enjoy all my experiences with my cars wherever I go and whatever I do. Click the link in the description below to find out more about XPEL's products and their official dealers in Malaysia. Protect everything you love with XPEL. Hello everybody, welcome to the Volkswagen Touareg. And I just got done with some cars and coffee with my friends. It was really cool. We got to drive an SL R107 and some beautiful Alphas, Aston Martin DB7 Volante. And here I am in a big family SUV, okay, the Volkswagen Touareg. This one is the 3.0 variant and finally now arrived in Malaysia, albeit I believe 5 to 6 years late, with its facelift version, the 3.0 petrol engine. Okay, I've been looking forward to drive this car ever since I laid my eyes on it in 2019 in UK. It was the pre-facelift version, and I really like the way it looks. And one part of me felt that Volkswagen Malaysia will never bring it to Malaysia, and they finally did, and in a CKD variant. So I'm very happy, and you know, been looking forward to drive this car. So thank you Volkswagen Malaysia for letting me drive this car so I can experience how it's like and report some of this driving experience to all of you. Okay, so before I start, I will share with you what I hope the Touareg can be, and then I'll share with you the driving experience and how it's like to drive this car after 3-4 days. Okay, what I hope this car could be is the understated and slightly stripped down version of the Porsche Cayenne. See, the Cayenne is, I believe, to be the benchmark for a premium SUV, right? It is comfortable, spacious, luxurious enough, and it has some sort of sporty drive to it. So I was hoping that this could be it. So this could be it for the dads that drive to work, fetch the kids around, or be chauffeured by the driver, and yet have that understated feel to it, okay? Because it doesn't, as you know, you drive a Porsche badge, it does associate yourself with a certain class of wealth, whereas the VW doesn't have that. And the way it looks like a Tiguan. I mean, you know, if you're a car guy, you probably can figure that out, but for the most people who are untrained and don't really care, it just looks like another Tiguan. And there are plenty of Tiguans around, and everyone knows that it's a, you know, it's entry level, you know, it's a crossover, right? It's a small SUV that potters around town. So this car does resemble that look, and for some people they don't like it, but for me it's a plus point. That understatedness is really a plus point. I mean, I imagine if I'm a boss and I want to be chauffeured around, and I want the discreetness, I would love to have this car as opposed to the Cayenne. How does it match up to my expectation? In a nutshell, the car is good. I mean, there's nothing much to complain about, and whatever I'm going to say is sort of nitpicking and may sound a bit unfair, but this is just my point of view. Okay, I'll start off with some of the things that I think is good in the car. It rides on air suspension. It's really comfortable, but for my personal preference, I prefer to drive it on sports mode. I can find the comfort mode a little bit too bouncy and floating at times, can be a bit unnerving. And even in low speeds, it does do the bobbing, you know, when you lift off, the car bobs up and down in front. Not a nice feeling. Me and my partner, she would feel nauseous when doing so. Okay, and when you come around the corners, even in sports mode, it doesn't reflect the Cayenne-ness of the car. It rolls, and it's kind of, you know, yeah, roly-poly, not in a good way, okay? But again, you're not going to push this car as a sports car, you know. It does the daily things very good, okay? So yeah, throw sportiness out the window, forget about it. It's not going to be sporty, but it's comfortable enough, okay? But even in the sports mode, I feel the the suspension is alright. You know, going through those speed breakers and everything is actually alright. Yeah, so I just leave it in sports mode and let's drive that. Okay, albeit I will not put the gearbox in the S mode, which is the sport mode, put it in D. Okay, engine, we have a V6 3.0 turbocharged. There's no character to it. You won't think that this car is characterful in the sense of its engine. It's good, however, you know, it makes sure the car moves around. It has enough torque down low for a heavy car like this, and really good drivetrain and gearbox tuning as something you expect from Volkswagen. They do this so well. And if I compare this, say, to a GLC, you know, Mercedes GLC, this is superior in terms of dialing in the drivetrain settings, you know, from comfort, eco, normal, sports. It's just so intuitive to drive, and I really appreciate that about Volkswagen, the effort they put in to make this a very intuitive drive, right? Really, hats off, right? Which I wish, you know, and you know, again, it's not a, you know, I don't want to come across as I'm, you know, beating Mercedes, but I know they can do better. Let's hope that Mercedes can do better than this. But Volkswagen, hats off, really, really good. Okay, steering, numb, electronic, as you expect, but accurate. You can place it wherever you want it to be. Yeah, everything is good and well. Safety, this car has quite a lot of good safety systems. It has the, I don't know what to call it, but basically it will warn you if someone is slowing down abnormally in front of you. It will intervene, blind spot monitors for you, you know, little signals and lights to let you know if someone is near you. I noticed that there's two different kind of settings. One is if it's far from you and it's there, it will blink. And then when it's really near, then it will become more it's a bit more like the blinking is more aggressive or just flash out for you. So yeah, you know, we got all 360 camera and stuff. I mean, it is really, really high spec. Yeah, one thing I'll say this though, the Malaysian CKD version of the Touareg is very, very highly spec. No, which is really good. Okay. Yeah. So as compared to the Cayenne, doesn't have any sportiness to it, whereas the Cayenne does. The suspension tuning on Cayenne is much better. In fact, I feel the air suspension on the, even on the comfort level on Cayenne is better. Doesn't do so much bobbing, sits better, feels more hefty on the highway in the Cayenne. Now again, I'm comparing it to something more expensive. This car doesn't have that same level of refinement or sportiness the Cayenne. The Cayenne is more talented in that sense. It can go both ways, even better than this car. But having that said, it's a bit unfair because you know, Cayenne is more expensive. The other car that I can seem to compare it to is the XC90, Volvo XC90. So if it's not sporty, it's comfortable, it has safety features, then I'll compare it with the XC90, which kind of sits plus minus in the price range, albeit one is more expensive than the other. But let's just say that it's in the same category, right? The XC90 seems to be something quite appealing compared to this. The interior on the XC90 is much better built. Not to say this is a bad interior. I like this interior. It's not super top-notch quality, but it's done well, right? It's the stitching, you know, the touches. They're not cheap plastic, you know. They're and I like this really, you know, simple look without all the fancy lights and stuff. You know, a bit Spartan, a bit simple. It feels it's taken some design cue from Audi a little bit, you know, and Volkswagen. I always like Volkswagen for that, for it being simple, right? Digital screens. I mean, we can't escape that anymore nowadays. We're doing this all the way, and this huge screen. I feel like my Apple CarPlay is like, it's so big. It's just, you know, it's obnoxiously big for me. And I go back to my Porsche Boxer Spider, and this feels like so small. It's just like it's like probably one fourth of this size. Yeah. But again, as most of the touchscreen and infotainment system, I don't like the fact that they go in and do all the, you know, cold, hot setting and the fan speed of the aircon and stuff, I believe it should be just a knob, right? Not something you have to look away and do it, because it's a bit dangerous. Okay, let's talk about some other creature comfort stuff, which is important in the spirit of good consumer reporting. The cruise control. So I got a couple of days to try the cruise control, and I think it's pretty good. However, the access to use it is confusing AF. Okay, so you know, it took me 10-15 minutes to figure out how to activate my active cruise control, and then how to switch from adjusting my speed to adjusting my distance between cars, right? Because they all share the same buttons, but you gotta like activate it so that it's a speed control, or activate it so it's a distance control. The lane keep assist is actually not bad, right? I got to try it in an early morning highway drive when there's no cars at 60-70 kilometers an hour. It does pick up the lanes pretty well, albeit it's not something you want to rely on entirely, but it's good to make sure that you're safe on the straight and narrow on your lane. It does a vibration when you are reaching the white lines, and it'll correct you, you'll auto-correct. So yeah, all those are fine and good. I think nowadays a lot of car safety system has really gotten up there, and the Volkswagen Touareg is really just up there. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, I'll be honest, there isn't much to complain about. I'm nitpicking it. However, then the question arises, is like, for the current price it is, would you buy it, or would you buy a second-hand used Cayenne? That becomes a bit of a question to ask, for me at least. But as it is, it's a great product. Rear seats are huge, boot space is humongous. Yeah, it's really ready for a family. You can have teenage kids and you can have adults, right? 4 adults in this car, and it's no problem at all, right? So yeah, I'm gonna get home, find a nice spot for you guys, and do a little walk around and just show you the exterior. There isn't much to show because it's, it is a great exterior in my opinion. Subtle, good looking, handsome. And check out the interior and show you a little bit of how this large iPad looking screen looks like. Okay, alright, see you when I get to my destination. Alright, so this is the Volkswagen Touareg. I'm gonna do a little walk around with the exterior and interior of the car and show you that massive screen. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the exterior of the car. I think this is lapis blue. Not my favorite color, but it is a Volkswagen color indeed. And this is in R-Line, so you get all these design cues like the exhaust, I believe, and a big R badge on the side. Runs to the 20-inch alloys. Okay, so I'm going to apologize. Usually I use my iPhone, so the car looks more like it's more circular in its lens, because I'm using my GoPro, because I need to show you how the CarPlay system looks like. But let's look at the exterior. I'm going to start with some of my personal opinions of the rear. Okay, everything else pretty good. I just don't like the rear. I'm not a big fan of these red light bars, because it also has a reflector down there. I just don't like it, because it just really, for me, destroys a proportion of how the rear should look like. I think the pre-facelift is much better looking with the 2 lights on the side, but that's the only variant we get today. But nonetheless, it is pretty good looking car, from most angles. Okay, so from the side, it's longer as you expect, because it's a larger size SUV. But if you really just think about it, look at that. It's if you don't really pay much attention to it, if you don't stare at it, means that it's on your peripherals, it looks like a Tiguan. Okay, for me that's a good thing. Again, the understatedness, it's a good thing, but it's not like it's not like a cheap design anyways. It still looks good, right? Simple things like this, a little humps inwards, so I like this design. It plays very subtle cues to make the car look special in small areas. Okay, but overall very simple, doesn't steal attention, very good. Yep. So let's start off with the space. Boot space, massive. Okay, automated as it is a standard nowadays. Okay, and you can see even with 2 large boxes there, I could fit 8 and still have a little bit more space. Okay, it's massive. Okay, and in here you have your air suspension, you know, so you can go up, put it down, etc. You do have something that covers your items, and what I like about this is actually, you know, it goes together with hand in hand with your boots, so you can actually see that it closes as you put down. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, we don't have a 7-seater version of this car. In Malaysia, it's all 5-seater. Rear boot space, massive, 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 massive. Okay, so that's my driving position up front. Look at that. I could just sit comfortably, and I believe we can also adjust the recline, right? So it makes a really nice space for the rear passenger. Put your hands down, if you put the armrest down, you could do a long journey with this and be chauffeured around. Okay, yeah, that's very good. Aircon over here, very important for the rear seats. You got blinds. Okay, you got lights over here. You can do it by touch. So yeah, the rear space is a nice place to be, and will be a car that I wouldn't mind being chauffeured around. Okay, you have your aircon control panel for zone climate control. Again, that really helps. Okay, so yeah, big cubby spaces. Touch points are okay, you know. The design, you can see, is just more serene, not much distractions until you start the engine. Okay, let's go and do that. Right, so there you go, digital dials nowadays, and you can go ahead and start the car. But let me just quickly show you. Here's the armrest, stuff like that. A little bit glowy on the side here, just to let you know that that's where you put all your cup holders and stuff like that. A decent space over here, and I believe there's wireless charging, Qi charging down here as well. Okay, aircon vents down here, which is a bit annoying because sometimes I want to get the aircon up to my chest. It just doesn't get up there, so a little bit annoying. But you know, you end up using a lot of aircon over here in a hot day. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Okay, so yeah, I just want you to see how large this screen is. Look at that, it's massive. That's massive, and I think, I don't know, I'm just not used to it. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about it. I just think it's too big. And what I don't like, again, is like you have to, you know, get to your aircon, you have to click, and you know, see what I mean? You gotta, okay, I want 18, but where's 18? Oops, okay. So you can't do this while you're driving. Okay, you can't do it, and that's, for me, not very ergonomic. Okay, it's, you know, there's no bars to tell you where is 18, 19, 20. You gotta look for it, which makes it even more dangerous. So that's just my opinion. It shouldn't be like that. You know, if you want to do touchscreen, which you shouldn't, then at least give an indication, right? Yeah. Okay. If not, you can just use this button to press up and down. Okay. Which I think that's better and safer. And then you have your fan speed. Okay. And there's no, again, there's no indication if you click correctly. There's no tactile feeling, which is what's lacking in this kind of things over here. Okay, so I mean, I'm not going to go in detail and touch everything, but yeah, the whole thing works, is fast as it should. You know, the graphics are great. I haven't used a lot of it, but I can tell you for sure that it is very well built. You know, everything, you know, from your car, your oil level, you know, your tire pressure system. See, the whole thing is smooth, no lag and stuff like that. So really good stuff. Apple CarPlay works well. It's wireless, right? No need to pay money to get any of this stuff. They're all included already, so very high spec. Now let's come to the steering. I'm mixed about the steering. It's not really haptic touch. There's actually buttons to press, so that's better than, say, the initial Mark 8 Golf, where it's just haptic touch. So you can actually press it in. There's a tactile feel when you actually click it. All right, so you choose what you want here, and then you can choose the view, which really only offers you two. Right, this is, for me, not very nice. I rather prefer this. And they have a very special function I want to quickly show you, which is the night vision, first of its kind in Volkswagen Malaysia, and I think the only car in Malaysia that offers night vision, right? It does take some time to load up, but when it does, it's pretty darn cool. Okay, so while that's loading up, let me show you where to choose your gear selector. It's big and chunky, right? So you have that, and then your P is here. You do have pedals, but the pedals kind of feel like floppy, so you don't really use them anyways. The whole shebang here, audio up and down here, although you can adjust your audio here too. Okay, and your sports driving mode is all here. I can choose your driving mode here. It goes from comfort to eco, right? And you can go up to sports, off-road, and snow, which I doubt that you probably won't. And off-road does offer you all of that, but you're typically not going to take your Touareg off-road, right? Okay, yeah, so you can choose your drive mode here, and this knob, and the other knob is when you choose your air suspension setup, right? So you can go lower. You can see it's actually going lower right now, or you can go much higher. You can choose that. Okay, so yeah, it's straightforward, easy to use. I know some people might say why a knob, it looks kind of cheap, but I do appreciate a knob, okay, rather than some touchscreen stuff. Okay, so let's come back to the night vision. So there you go, that's your night vision. Okay, and this is the first, I believe, in Malaysia. I haven't seen any of it, so that's pretty darn cool. It does help driving at night, especially when it's kampong roads and B roads. I don't think it'll be something that a lot of people will use unless you live in small towns and villages. Okay, pretty cool thing to know. Not sure if it's super relevant, but yeah, it's just cool to know, right? Interior, very simple. All the straight lines, no crazy things going around, and generally just decent quality. Right, so yes, that is the Touareg, ladies and gentlemen. It is good, not much to complain about, but at 470,000 ringgit, I don't know, it is quite a lot of money to ask for, and just got me wondering, should I, if I'm in this market to buy this, should I get an XC90, right? But XC90 comes with a hybrid, and some people might not prefer a hybrid. This could be a choice for it, but again, the XC90 has so much merits to it, it's very hard to look away from it. Yeah, or maybe you go for a Cayenne, but that's around 140,000 ringgit more, right? But yeah, overall it's an improvement from the old Touareg. That's for sure. That's acknowledged with Volkswagen Touareg for that. It is lighter, and because of its new construction, new platform, engine is great. Yeah, it's just all around improvement. Yeah, so yes, didn't disappoint. It is as it should be, and just my personal opinion is the price. Okay, so that's it for my little vlog today with the Volkswagen Touareg. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the Touareg as well. Which one would you get? Would you get the XC90, or would you get the Touareg? Would you pay a little bit more to get the Cayenne, or would you wait for the Cayenne to come down and buy it secondhand? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more content from me, just subscribe to my channel, and please help me like this video if you enjoyed it. Right, so that's it for this video. See you in another one, and as always, take care, and keep it 100 always. Peace out. Love you guys.